What's going on, guys? How are you doing? I hope you are doing well, and I hope you're a very fantastic and profitable week. I am Shocks, and I welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, guys, I have a little advice for you. You should consider subscribing and turning on your post notifications so that you don't miss a single video from this channel. So guys, today we are going to talk about a very popular and loved subject in the forex industry, which is trend lines, but we are going to spice it up a bit with some order blocks. So we are going to talk about trend lines and order blocks, how to actually trade the two. So guys, as you know, we are going to explain a little bit of trend line strategy. I know most of us came from the trend line strategy, right? So we are a bit familiar with it, but some of the guys are not. So with the trend line strategy, how we will be using it here on this strategy, you need to know how to draw a trend line. That's forex 101. So what you need to know is you need to know that you have to have at least 2 touches, then you trade the third, right? So what you are doing is we are focusing on the third touch, third or fourth or fifth or sixth, seventh. So it doesn't matter how many, but it just has to be at least 2 and focus on the third, at least the third going forward. So from what you are seeing here, we have our trend line here. This is V100 and this is Saturday, and this actually happened. So what we are doing is we are looking at price making some moves up, right? We're looking at price making some moves up. Why? Because we have a bullish market structure and we have an upward looking trend line. So what we are doing is we have a bullish trend line, number one. With a bullish trend line, we are expecting price to go up. So price should bounce from what? From these bullish order blocks. But we are not only considering the order blocks, we are also considering the order block with the trend line. So this is the trend line number 1, number 2, then this is the third touch. But on the third touch, we don't have an order block worth considering together with the what? With the trend line. So we then shift to the next, which is the fourth touch, and we have a very good looking order block which took out market structure in this area. So what we are looking at here is price retesting this, which it did, and price going up beyond this or this high. So this is what we are looking at, and this is our trend line. So with trend line and order blocks, you just need to trade where the two meet, in simple terms. So what I'm saying is the conditions of the trend line has to be met. The conditions of the order block are to be met. So it's the trend lines rules plus the order blocks rules. When if they don't agree, you don't trade. If they do agree with each other, which most of the times they don't, so you have to look for that, and you have to be patient because it doesn't happen every day on every chart. Okay, so this is another example which I prepared for you guys. Number 1, we are having this first touch. I hope you can see it. We are having number 1 touch, number 2, then this is the third touch, right? So there's the other thing, which is a weakness of what of trend lines. We tend to see price piercing through a trend line, and some of you call it manipulation, some of you call it a stop hand or something. So with an order block, you know, price has to balance the two out. So what you are doing here is we have first touch, second touch, then this is the third touch. But on the third touch, you see what price did? Price went to towards this low, but did not break it, which we were expecting, because if we enter here, we expect this low to be taken out. But now with this OB, we see our stop loss is going to be around this area, right? So when this happens, when this all consolidation happens in this area, you are chilled. You know your stop loss is here, and this is only invalid once the stop loss is hit or once the order block is broken. So in terms of stop loss, we are not going to use the trend line because the trend line is just one line. We are going to use the order block because it is a zone, right? I hope you got that. So after that, we will see that price continues going down. So after you enter a trade, you don't look at your analysis, you look at your stop loss, because that's when you set your stop loss, that's the time when you're actually thinking, right? So when you are in a trade, you I'm sorry to say this, but you're not actually thinking straight. So you have to ignore any analysis you might be thinking of. You have done everything. Ignore that. When you are in a trade, you have to start to trust your targets, trust your TP and your stop loss. Whatever gets hit first, that's the reality. That's what you are going to ride with, right? So guys, you have to stop analyzing a trade you are currently holding or something like that, because you won't be in the right framework of mind at that time. Those who know agree with me. Those who don't, oh guys, we can't agree all the time. So that's V25. Let's look at another example. So from what you see here, that is an example that is kind of similar to what I was showing you. So this is the trend line: first touch, second touch, third touch, and on the third touch you see price piercing through the trend line. So from what you are seeing, the setup is still valid. Why? Because the order block is still holding. So with this trend line and this OB, if you had entered this trade, you will still be holding, and that you know that red indicator that flashes when your stop loss is about to be hit. It will be flashing right now. So you just be waiting and see what price does, and if we are lucky, it would go straight up again. So it's just analysis. That's how you analyze. If it gets hit, it gets hit. No hard feelings. So number 1, number 2, number 3, and as you can see, we have this little baby here, with the trend line. That's a buy, straight buy right away, V25s. And from what I'm seeing here, we don't have a very good trend line, and I have to show you the bad examples too, so that you know. So with this, it has to touch the trend line, the third touch, remember, and it has to be in the order block for you to consider it. And as you can see, we are not going to consider that. Then we go to currencies. You see, we have the first touch here, the second touch here, the third touch, and the third touch coincides with a very beautiful and green order block. What more would you want? So that's a sell. It's simple, really. 1, 2, 3, and the OB, you are in and you are waiting for profits. 1, 2, and where's the third touch? This is the third touch, and where's the OB? This is the OB, and what are you doing? You are buying, right? Let's look at this. We don't have a very good example here. Let's see. Yes, this is AJ. We have something on AJ: 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, trend line and a zone. So a trend line plus a zone, that's a catch. That's a catch right there. So you enter or in. Just pretend you didn't hear that. This is a trade, and you are going forward for TP. You are going for TP right here. So holding for the whole day for profits. Yeah. So this is actually good. I did well. So 1 touch, 2 touch, the third touch, and you see the order block. Guys, this is very beautiful, and this is what you must be looking for. This is what you must be looking for every day. This is a break of structure. Okay, I know you guys know about market structure and everything, so everything is coming together. Break of structure, and you see that. Yeah, that is good. That is good, guys. Because I'm sorry for that. That is good. And this is a very good example. You see, trend line OB, and when you really into these things, you see them without drawing these lines. You see them without drawing these lines. Quarter point, a station point, order block, trend line. What more do you need? This is enough confirmation for a trade. You see, this is GBP USD, trend line 1, 2, 3 touches, and you see where it came back to. Yeah, that is what you are looking for, guys. That is what you are looking for. And guys, this is the trend line and order block strategy you have been looking for. I hope this was helpful to you, and I look forward to having you in the next video, because I'm going to drop some super nice stuff. Trade what you see, and don't forget to subscribe.